Before we dive into today's conversation, I want to introduce you to someone who played a meaningful role in my life long before this podcast existed. Ava Brooks is a professional artist whose work explores color, emotion, and storytelling through visual art, but she's also someone I first met in a classroom. Ava was actually my teacher, and that's where I first saw how passionate she is about creativity. She wasn't just someone assigning projects or grading work, she genuinely pushed students to think differently, experiment, and find their own artistic voice. Seeing how she approached art in the classroom made a big impression on me, and over time I've had the chance to watch her continue growing and working as a professional artist outside of school. That's exactly why I wanted her on the show today. Ava brings a perspective that combines both sides of the creative world, teaching others how to develop their ideas while also pursuing her own artistic career. In this episode, we'll talk about her journey as an artist, what inspires her work, and what it's really like building a life around creativity. So I'm really excited for you to hear from her. Let's welcome Ava Brooks.
Hello.
Hi, Ava.
Henry.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So Ava, for listeners who are just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first became interested in art?
Well, kind of a defining moment for me with art came with my stepfather, who would take my sculptures and he had a process that he metallized them. And so that really inspired me to keep going. And he always encouraged me. So we had a photography lab, and he also encouraged me to explore different cultures because he was Cherokee.
That's awesome. It's very interesting about your father's influence on your artwork. How would you describe your artistic style to someone who has never seen your work?
I don't know, explosive, wild, exploring. I'm trying to explore the unconscious and create my own language through art.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I can see that. And what inspires your work the most? People, places, emotions, or something else?
I think emotions or philosophical thoughts, discussions that I have with myself, I have them on canvas or in sculpture. Um,
Okay, that's cool. I love that. And I know you spent some time traveling in Europe. What years were you in Europe for? And what were some of the places that left the biggest impression on you?
I was there in 1970 and 71, or maybe just 71 now, I don't remember. But
Good years.
I had the idea after high school, I went to college, and that didn't appeal to me very much. So I had the idea that I wanted to gap through Europe, hopefully for a year. So I had all the money together and worked and saved and got it all together and went and backpacked and hitchhiked and rode the train, whatever way I could get around. And I think Greece inspired me the most. It's so beautiful, the light. I mean, people talk about the lights. It is really true. I stayed on an island, Mykonos.
Oh, I want to go there so bad.
It was in March, so it was chilly, and there was no one there.
Right.
I mean, I think even the locals were gone.
Yeah, I was in Italy in March too. It was quite cold. Still.
It's chilly.
Yeah.
It's chilly. And I don't know about you, but my accommodations were kind of sparse. They were like 50 cents a night. And I only had one blanket, so it got kind of nippy.
Oh man.
And I had to pay for the heat, so I didn't want to pay for extra heat. So I just
Really? They charge you for the heat?
They charged me extra for the heat. Well, they were just kind of doing people a favor when they're off season. They really want to take a vacation from tourists staying in their houses and stuff. Because there are no hotels, or at the time, there was no hotel.
Oh, I think there's a lot of hotels there now.
Well, there might have been one on the other side of the island that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Rich people stayed at.
Yeah.
I stayed in someone's house for 50 cents.
And how did seeing European art and architecture in person influence your perspective as an artist?
Well, one of the things that was so surprising to me is that I felt like I had all my favorite artists right there at my hand. You know, I could just go any place and see the art and the architecture that I had sort of listed in my brain to go and look at firsthand. And I thought I had all of them down, and I went into the museum and I was walking through the halls and I came upon Caravaggio, and I just discovered my new favorite painter just from his artwork, which was fantastic. It was like stepping into another universe. For the last 6 months of my trip, I lived in Paris with Lila de Nobili. So that was interesting too. I got to see firsthand how a professional artist worked and lived. I lived with her for 6 months or 5 months. I don't know.
Wow. And I was gonna ask something, but now I don't remember. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. When is it true when you were in Europe that you were arrested twice?
No, just once.
Just once. Oh, okay. Was it in Spain?
No, it was in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't get arrested in Spain because it was under the dictatorship at the time, correct?
Yes. That was truly frightening. So I was warned before I got on the train, and the train going from France, Avignon, where I was, to Barcelona, where I wanted to go, was moving very slowly. And this man was telling me, under no circumstances do you break any laws. And so on every corner was a man with a machine gun and full riot gear. And but life kind of went on among everyone normally around these people, but the atmosphere was quite chilly. And I believe the year before, Franco had sent the troops into the American school there in Spain and assaulted American students. So I don't know what that was particularly about. I was not interested in politics back then at all.
I want to visit a dictatorship so badly, but I don't know why. It just really interests me.
You what?
I want to visit a dictatorship, but I don't know which one. Maybe Turkmenistan. It's a really interesting country. They have like a law there where you can only drive white cars. So because the dictator only likes white cars, so all the cars in the entire country are white.
Wow.
And yeah, it's like really bizarre. There's a great documentary about it on YouTube. I really want to go there.
Oh, you would have walked this trip then.
I kind of want to go to North Korea too, but I think that one's a little risky.
Yeah, you kind of have to be afraid for your life.
Yeah, I don't know about that shit.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this desire of yours to put yourself in harm's way here. I wanted to see El Greco's house.
El Greco's house?
Yes.
Where is that, in Spain?
Yes, it's outside of well, now I don't remember where it is. It's outside of Madrid, I believe. And I wanted to see that really badly. So I braved the big bad policeman in Spain. But in Paris, I almost got arrested because they're kind of crazy. They were kind of nutty there too because it was just a year after the students and the workers had taken over Paris completely and sort of thrown people out of the administrative buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So every Friday and Saturday night, when you went out, everybody was dressed for a riot.
Oh, wow.
Just about.
Sounds like the French.
Yes. Yes.
And when you went to jail, like, didn't they like drug you and you got stuck there for a while because you were taking the milk or something? Or?
Well, I felt kind of strange, and the policeman there took pity on me and said, "Don't drink the milk because she's thinking they put fentanyl or something in it."
Oh my God.
And so I had been there for a couple of days and hadn't even had the brain power to ask to see, some kind of counselor or call the embassy. I don't know, call my mother, someone. And so just by some coincidence, my mother had sent me some money to American Express. So I got myself together and said, my money's at American Express.
Right.
So let me out.
So you've been living in Austin since 1968, correct?
Well, I was here for a year with my friend Eileen, and I just kind of bummed her out while she went to school. And then that's when I went back to Houston and went to school. And then I moved here again in the 1980s.
I see. That makes sense. And you've seen the city change dramatically. What was Austin like when you first arrived?
I was just, we didn't lock our doors.
Right. Yeah.
It was completely different from living in Houston. And it was kind of liberating for me because it was my first time away from home, so I just everything was just like Wizard of Oz or something. Yeah,
it's interesting how much Austin has changed.
Well, it used to seem like everywhere you went, the same people went there. You ate at the same places.
Right.
And now it's not like that at all.
Right.
Although you still see people that you haven't seen for years, just like on the street or something.
Oh, I know. I saw somebody that I recognized at the bus stop on my way here. I was like, whoa, I haven't seen her in a long time.
Who was that?
Sharon. Yeah. And how would you describe the cultural or artistic atmosphere in Austin back then compared to today? Do you think it's different? I mean, must be different.
You're asking the wrong person. I'm trying to learn that you know that.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I I miss all the galleries and the art museums in Houston. I will say that I still do. Um, but um, one of the things that I really like in Austin is all the murals and the mural artists. That's pretty fabulous.
Oh, right. There's a beautiful one over on 12th Street and Chacon that I love. It has like people of color on it, like famous people from Texas, Black people. And it's really pretty. It's very interesting. I like have spent a long time staring at it.
Right. I like that mural that's under the bridge there on Lamar.
Oh, right. Yeah, downtown by the Whole Foods. Yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting painting under that bridge that always had an impact on me about drunk driving.
Right.
It says you might kill someone's kid.
I saw that when it just happened.
Yeah.
And it made an impact on me just like that.
It's been there for a long time. I think it's been there since 2002. And are there any parts of Old Austin that you miss? Like, I guess you already talked about that, but just more of the small town vibe, I guess.
I miss the fact that you could drive and you didn't.
Right. There was no traffic.
There was no traffic.
The traffic here is awful, just so you know, listeners. Like, we have, I think, like, we're in the top 5 for worst traffic in the United States. And honestly, I've spent quite a bit of time in Los Angeles, and I think the traffic in Austin is worse than it is there. Because the roads are smaller and they did not build the city to accommodate 2.5 million people. They built it to accommodate about 500,000 people. So all the roads are really way too small given what the population of the city is. And the traffic is absolutely outrageously bad. It is awful. It is it doesn't matter what day it is, what time it is. It could be Sunday morning and you could get stuck on the 35 interstate like for hours. It doesn't even matter like if it's rush hour or not. There's traffic here all the time. That's why I never leave my neighborhood. I feel like living in Austin, you become very insular and you don't really leave your neighborhood unless you're going to work because of the traffic.
Well, I think in a lot of ways it's improved.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can sort of make your life in your neighborhood. Whereas before you had to drive 1,000,000 miles to get to the grocery store or something. Seemed like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I live and work in my neighborhood. So you've taught many students over the years. What do you hope that your students take away from studying art with you? If anything.
Plenty. Well, I want them to look deeper at their environment and appreciate the beauty. that surround them. Whatever, in whatever form that is. I mean, it could be um, it could be ugly to someone, but you find something about it beautiful and meaningful. And they really have to believe in themselves because that's one of the first things that I notice about kids is that someone has beat it into their heads that they have to make something look real for it to be any word.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to live a creative life, what would it be?
Question everything.
Question everything.
Everything.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Better.
And I'm sorry about the construction noise. We're in a construction zone right now. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. I'll try to edit it out. I'll do the best that I can. But it's a little distracting. All right. So, let's get to news, shall we?
Okay.
All right. So, we're going to talk about the royals for a minute, and because we're both very interested in this. And what I was going to talk about first here, let's see if I can get this open. Okay, so let's talk about how Sarah Ferguson's $475,000 divorce payout made her desperate for money while Princess Diana received $22 million.
Okay.
The late Princess of Wales and the former Duchess of York ended up in very different circumstances after leaving their royal partners. Sarah Ferguson was desperate for money after her divorce from the former Prince Andrew, while Princess Diana reportedly received $22 million in her split from then Prince Charles. Ferguson received an estimated $475,000. Ferguson's money troubles involved the cash for access scandal and financial entanglements with Jeffrey Epstein.
That's incredible.
Yeah, do you remember this? Because I think when did they divorce? 1996, Diana received a $22 million settlement, as well as an annual allowance after divorcing King Charles. Meanwhile, Ferguson's settlement after ending her marriage to the former Prince Andrew the same year was estimated to be around $475,000. In a 2010 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Ferguson hinted that she accepted less money in hopes of a more cordial future relationship with the royals.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about this? I mean, I think that's crazy. She only got $400,000, and the Princess Diana got so much more.
Yeah, she's been using her job, didn't she?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I know that was more money back then than it is now, but even still, it sounds like it made it difficult for her to maintain the lifestyle that she was used to.
Right. Right. Like what she
It says that she did become a spokesperson for Weight Watchers, wrote a memoir and a series of children's books, created a dinnerware line with Wedgwood China, and more. However, her financial needs led to a scandal in May 2010 when she was caught on camera accepting cash in exchange for access to Andrew and the royal family. However, the man offering the money turned out to be an undercover reporter for News of the World.
Oh, no.
Ferguson told Oprah Winfrey that she was so out of control with desperation where she'd reached a point of no return a month after the video went public. She said she had done the deal because a friend needed $38,000 urgently, but she asked for more money for herself.
Mhm.
Ferguson's money troubles were also apparent in her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and a subject that the pair seemingly communicated about on numerous occasions, as seen in the recently released Epstein files from the Department of Justice. Wow. So she was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. That's crazy. I had no idea. I mean, it seems like everyone knew him. His reach is just crazy. Like, how many people are in those files?
Yes. This must have been quite a little network that he had going to trap people into these sort of blackmail webs with him. And isn't that true? I mean, isn't that what they're saying?
Right. Well, it says that she asked him for a job, and in other communications with him that she appeared to thank him for his help with brand deals and asked him to fund her travels and praises his generosity and kindness.
Ooh.
It says she's been keeping a low profile since Andrew's arrest on February 19th, which is the next thing that I was going to talk about. So I'm sure you heard about this, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
On his 66th birthday, police searched his homes in Sandringham, I don't know how to say that, in Windsor, and arrested him. Let's see. For those of you that don't know, Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The update comes after Thames Valley Police confirmed it was investigating a complaint alleging that the former Duke of York shared confidential information related to his role as a trade envoy with Jeffrey Epstein. And isn't he like a known pedophile? Am I like making that up? Or
Andrew or Epstein?
and Prince Andrew?
Oh, I didn't know that he was a known pedophile.
I think that there's been suspicion about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hadn't realized that. This is pretty gross, though. He obviously is and was, and the royal family knew about it. In particular, the Queen, because they took away some of his privileges. Didn't they take away his uniform? I mean, at the funeral procession, he had to wear a mourning coat rather than his military regalia and uniform.
I didn't know that. Huh. Interesting.
So they might have been trying to get him in hand by chopping little things, taking things away from him. But the damage had already been done.
It says he denies any wrongdoing regarding his relationship with Epstein. However, King Charles' office released a seismic statement vowing it would cooperate with law enforcement if approached about a probe. It says, as we previously stated, Their Majesty's thoughts and sympathies have been and remain with the victims of any and all forms of abuse. It continued, referencing the King and Queen Camilla, who is a tireless advocate for survivors of domestic and sexual abuse. The palace statement notably addressed Andrew's conduct for the first time since he and his wife, Sarah Ferguson, were mentioned several times in the latest tranche of Epstein files. The former couple divorced in 1996 after a decade of marriage and shared daughters Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, but continued to live together at the Royal Lodge in Windsor after their split. Now that's kind of weird. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sure the Royal Lodge is like, what, 30,000 square feet or something. But can you imagine living with your ex after you divorce? Could you do that?
Yes, probably. Probably done that.
I mean, I guess it depends how much space you have. I'm sure in this situation that they each had like their own wing of the palace, you know?
Right.
It wasn't like they were seeing each other on a daily basis.
Right. Yeah, they stayed charms, I guess. Ooh.
So in October 2025, he was stripped of his royal titles and honors and evicted from the Royal Lodge amid scrutiny of his ties to Epstein. Wow. It says they stripped him of his military titles and patronages Queen Elizabeth had in January 2022 after a judge rejected his attempt to have Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre's sexual assault lawsuit against him dismissed. I don't know how to say her last name. Giuffre. Andrew has repeatedly denied Giuffre's allegations and reached a settlement with her in 2022. She died by suicide in April 2025. So this is a big mess. And it's pretty shocking.
No, it's just all these people are privileged and power and money. And they just seem to get away with
So much.
honor. Well, murder in this instance.
I mean,
they didn't murder her, but
they drove her to suicide.
She committed suicide. Good God.
You know, no, you're not supposed to use the word suicide anymore. You're supposed to say unalived.
Unalive?
Yes, that's the more politically correct term.
I won't be using that.
I think it's dumb. And let's talk about how ex-Prince Andrew was unwelcoming to Kate Middleton, prompting a long-standing grudge from Prince William. So here's more issues with Prince Andrew. Prince William wants the former Prince Andrew dealt with before it's his time to take the throne, royal biographer claims, and some say it's the result of a long-standing grudge. In August 2024, more than a year before King Charles stripped Andrew of his royal titles, journalist Richard Kay spoke to the Mail Online about the animosity between Prince William and his uncle, believed to stem from Andrew's past treatment of Kate Middleton. Differences between monarch and heir do so remain, especially when it comes to the Prince Andrew scandal, Kay said. William has long held a grudge against Andrew for being unwelcoming when he first introduced the then Kate Middleton to the royal family and feels that his father has been too soft on him. Royal biographer Andrew Lowney previously told People that Andrew wasn't nice when Kate came into the family. He thought she wasn't posh enough, referring to the Princess of Wales' commoner upbringing. What do you think about that? I mean, it's another example of this guy being a bad guy.
Well, kind of hard for me to not look at them and think that they act pretty much like royals. And they squabble and fight with each other, but and the press is involved in these little squabbles and fights and problems they have with each other, and then they ignore something huge like this problem with Andrew long ago. And the and then it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's like some really awful family dynamics going on there.
Well, just typical family dynamics, typical bad family dynamics.
Right. I mean, they are
Not that
real
I know any
people.
happy ones. Hmm?
They are real people.
Yes, they are. I think the rich probably question sometimes at times like this, why are they spending their tax dollars to support this? Is 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 this really something that they want?
Right. As an American, I just can't imagine that. It just seems so foreign to me to imagine that my taxes would go to supporting a super, super rich family. I
Yes,
just can't fathom being okay with that in any circumstance.
yes, that's true. That's true.
And then I wanted to talk about this local story. It's kind of funny, but it's also a little sad. This woman carjacked a delivery driver's car, a 19-year-old woman. Um, the reason why I thought this story was interesting is because I used to be a delivery driver for several years. And I was always so scared of the very same thing happening to me whenever I was working. Um, According to police, when the driver got back to his car, there was a woman inside and she was trying to drive away. The driver tried to stop her, but the suspect hit him with a glass bottle and fled, police say. So, this is just another example, and I'm going to talk about the mass shooting that happened in the same area downtown in a minute. But it's just another example of how dangerous Austin has become, especially downtown.
Yes, yeah, it's not. I mean, people send their kids to school here and they forget that 6th Street's right down the road there. Mm.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, 6th Street is like this massive entertainment district in downtown Austin. It's actually also known as the warehouse district because it used to be full of warehouses, and they've converted all of them into bars and clubs where there's lots of live music you can catch any night of the week. Austin is also known as the live music capital of the world. And 6th Street is kind of the heart of the music industry in Austin. Um, Unfortunately, there was a terrible mass shooting on West 6th Street just a few days ago. And I hate to even bring it up, but I have to mention it because it was a national story right here from Austin. And I just think that this whole thing with guns is so out of control. But in this particular case, this mass shooting is being investigated as an act of terrorism because the suspect was a Somali national, and they believe that he was motivated by the war in Iran. What do you think about the shooting? I mean, I feel scared to go down there personally. And I know we have South by Southwest coming up, which is a huge event that they have every year in Austin in March. And it's a huge festival. They have a film festival and a music festival. and what they call Interactive, which is a technology, high-tech conference, because Austin is a center of the high-tech industry. We have Dell, we have Samsung, we have Apple, we have everything here. The gunman identified by Austin Police Department as 53-year-old Nidiga Diage opened fire at Buford's Bar near the intersection of West 6th Street and Rio Grande Street around 2 a.m. Sunday. He was shot and killed by police. 2 people were killed, a 19 and 21-year-old. 14 others were taken to the hospital, including 3 in critical condition. It's unclear if those people were shot or were otherwise injured.
Mhm.
The FBI is taking the lead on the investigation, according to the mayor's office. There are indicators of terrorism, the FBI said in a press conference Sunday. And on top of that, the local We Are Blood said donations are needed in the wake of the shooting, because they had to send out more than 90 blood products to hospitals Sunday. 3 killed, 13 injured. I just feel that this, I guess, happened March 1st, if I'm not mistaken. The night after our first episode dropped. There seems to be some motivation for this man by something about Iran. He was wearing like a pro-Iran shirt or something.
Mhm.
What do you think about that? I mean, do you think it's safe to go out downtown?
I would, yeah, I don't think so. This is not, I haven't felt safe there in a long time. I mean, when I first moved here about 40 years ago, or when I moved here the second time 40 years ago, I went downtown to see Esther Follies
Yeah.
all the time. And I mean, the only thing I felt unsafe about was the drunken customers walking in the street. I, just kind of playing around. But
Right.
I would definitely not want my children, my college student, going there, because this is the second time this has happened. I mean, that wasn't a terrorist.
The first time, right? It was kids, but the first time the suspects were like 17 years old or something.
Oh, wow.
So they weren't even old enough to get into any of the bars or clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But that shooting happened a few years ago on East 6th Street, just down the street from the much more recent shooting on March 1st. Yeah, I'm scared to go downtown. Like, I'm really terrified. And let's talk about the time change. How are we feeling today? You lost an hour of sleep.
I feel terrible.
I was so confused all day. I was so confused because my watch, I still haven't fixed my watch. Like, my clocks in my house are still not fixed. And I was just so confused. I was like, what time is it right now today? I wanted to talk about states. 2 states have approved permanent standard time, Arizona and Hawaii. And there's multiple other states that are looking at doing the same thing, but Texas has not, one of them. We have they want to enact permanent daylight savings time, which is, I'm a big opponent against. I want permanent standard time.
Yes.
because if daylight savings time was permanent, the sun wouldn't come up during the winter until like 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas standard time, that's just the natural, normal time that it actually really is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand
Too hard
these
on your body.
people that are proponents of permanent daylight savings time. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, how is that a good idea to have the sun rise so late in the winter? And it looks like currently so many state level efforts have focused on permanent daylight saving time. Legislation for permanent standard time remains under consideration in more than a dozen states. That includes bills in Alaska, California, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and Vermont. But what I read was that permanent daylight savings time is blocked right now by Congress. So even though Texas has enacted it, technically it can't be done. They have to pass a law to allow it at the federal level.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 5 bills in Congress, 2 for permanent daylight saving and 2 to leave the decision to the states. 1 calling for half daylight saving time that remain in committees. I don't know what half daylight saving time means. Do you?
No.
I don't understand what that means. Without any wide sweeping action, our clocks will inevitably fall back an hour on November 1st. And I think the time change, I mean, it's been proven time and time again by multiple studies that it's really bad for you. You know, supposedly it's really has a horrible negative impact on your cardiovascular system as well as your sleep.
Yes, I just realized that I actually got up at 3:30, not 4:30.
Right. Ava wakes up very early in the morning, y'all. She likes to get up early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's terrible. I know. I was confused when I woke up about what time it was. I was very perplexed. I just totally forgot about it. And I wanted to talk about Paris Fashion Week for a minute, just because it's something that I'm interested. Apparently, they're saying that skin is in after, which is interesting because usually during times of bad economic times, more conservative dress comes in style. But right now we're seeing the opposite in Paris fashion. So apparently they're saying that tuxedo is back. Skin is in. Designers aren't being shy about the body this season. Craft gets weird in a good way. Ed Lowe, Lowy? I don't know how to say that. Loewe, the design duo of Jack McCullough and Lazaro Hernandez, are radically redefining what luxury craft looks like and having a blast doing it. Their sophomore collection was a sensory jolt, inflatable channels pumped into outerwear and leather raincoats, shearling sculpted and groomed to resemble prize-winning poodle fur, and latex cast of 3D printed molds to reimagine boudoir staples. The venue was drenched in taxi yellow, the soundtrack was pounding techno, and stuffed sea creatures shared the front row with Hollywood stars.
Wow.
Interesting, right?
Yes.
It also says gingham accents and hand-painted floral prints were scattered throughout their lineup. Fringe is also having a moment again, which is interesting because I remember when Fringe came really in style only 10 years ago, and usually fashion runs in 20-year cycles.
Mhm.
So it's surprising to see that it's coming back so soon, because it just seems like it was just in style. And I have a pair of French boots and I lost them. I can't find them, and it's very upsetting. Um, Also, minimalism is another trend that's we're seeing in style right now. And colors such as rich reds, cobalt, color blocking, and denim heavy palettes. Evening with a disco edge with fruit sparkly dresses and high slit satin skirts are all back in back in fashion.
High slit skirts.
Yeah, high slit skirts. Skin is in.
Skin is in. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. It looks kind of like a repeat of
A repeat of what?
well, the minimalist look is kind of like the 1960s London,
Right.
you know, with the minimalist kind of dresses, you know, those short dresses that they wore in those block colored prints, you know, like Mondrian, the artist.
Right. That's what this article is just mentioning.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like a mixture of the 60s, and really that's really interesting because I don't know how our economic period that we're in is really parallel to that.
Vietnam.
I guess so, yeah.
Maybe Iran is going to be our Vietnam.
Ooh, Lord, I hope not. I do
Or
not want
one
to
of
get
the many
drafted.
Vietnams.
And I love fashion and style, and I'm for those of you who don't know, I guess you wouldn't know, I'm in school full time right now, and next fall I'm taking a course called fashion forecasting, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to take it. It's not the first fashion class I've taken, and probably not the last, but um, it should be really interesting to learn about how they decide what trends are coming in style in the future. I think it's going to be fascinating.
Well, I when my mom was alive and sewing for me, I kept tabs on trends because I could always get her to sew something for me in that trend. But now that I can afford blue jeans, I think I'm just out of the trend.
Right. I'll have to dig through my closet and see if I can find some fringe. I know I have a fringe vest I got in Hyde Ashbury in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll
You
love
said
fringe.
fringe.
Fringe, yeah,
Oh, I think you said
fringe.
trends.
No, fringe. Fringe.
Oh, I could wax poetic on fringe. No, I used to have a leather jacket like a a western jacket with lots of fringe and some boots with fringe. It was the 70s thing.
Yeah, that's how my vest is. It's very Western. It said it was made from some Native American made it. Um, and the buttons on it are made out of animal bone.
Mm-hmm.
It's really,
You haven't worn that in a long time.
yeah, I haven't worn it in a long time because it hasn't been in style, but now it's back apparently. So I dress very trendy, y'all. I always stay on trend.
and make your own friends.
I love that. Thank you. All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up for today. Thank you for listening. Today, we heard from artist Ava Brooks about her life in Austin since 1968, her travels through Europe, and how those experiences shaped her perspective as an artist. Next week, my guest will be political pundit Jarvis Lampley. Music in this episode is by John Bartman and is called 70s Euro Disco. You can find the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Henry Hudson Hour, or email us with your questions at henryhudsonhour@gmail.com. And in the future, I would like to start an advice segment. So if you need advice on any topic, email us. I'm your host, Henry Hudson, and you've been listening to the Henry Hudson Hour. Thank you.